Dead Space 2 Hardcore, Segment 2. Slack, you're on point. Saddle up, lock, and load.
Alright, the Slack is back. My second segment of my Dead Space 2 Hardcore run, Chapter 7, going from Chapter 7 through to Chapter 10. And I'm just emptying out my detonator to get a free refill at the bench. Also at the bench, I'm going to respec my plasma cutter. In fact, I'm going to abandon the plasma cutter shortly, so all those of you who are attached to that weapon, say your goodbyes now, because its days are numbered. And as you can see, I have just enough power nodes to get everything I want on the Ripper. Normally I don't deem it necessary to get the alt upgrades because I don't believe it really makes that much difference. But later on, I do actually get all the alt upgrades for reasons I don't remember now, probably because I knew at a certain point I would have spare power nodes, so I decided, hey, what the heck. Here at the store, you can see the schematics for the flamethrower and the pulse rounds are being downloaded, even though I never actually picked those up. And the way that works is, if you don't pick up schematics, those weapons and items will become available at the second store after the point where that schematic is found, or the first store in the next chapter. So it doesn't really matter if you leave schematics behind, because you'll eventually get those weapons and items available at the store anyways. And I kept with the same game plan. I sold all my spare ammo and items, and I bought a whole bunch of power nodes. And note that I kept 13,000 credits.
Why did you do that, Slack?
Because I'm going to buy the force gun after I get the schematic for that, after the elevator ride of death. And I'm going to buy it as soon as possible. And I want to make sure I have enough credits to do that. I blew a hardcore run by spending all my credits on power nodes. When I got to the store, the first store after the elevator ride, I didn't have enough credits to take on the force gun, and that's really critical for the next part, the power grid complex. So I had to abandon that run and start over. So I've learned, he's a learner. Yeah, make sure you got enough credits to buy your favorite weapons when you get to the next store, because you never know what's going to happen. So that's it. Now we're repairing the elevator so that we can take it up, and we're going to take the elevator ride of death. And you'll see, I've already mentioned that my weapon of choice is the detonator. I mean, anybody's weapon of choice in the elevator ride of death at the beginning of Chapter 7, when you have to fight off all the tripods, should definitely be the detonator. One shot to the body of the tripods and they go bye-bye, and that's it, that's all. And it works out that I had just enough detonator mines to pull off the job here. Here I'm just going to try to quickly jam into the elevator before this leaper spawns and comes down the ramp, and and then you could just, you don't have to deal with them. So yeah, I had just enough detonator mines to do the job here, so it's a good thing I didn't use any detonator mines in the gymnasium back in Chapter 6, because I would have been screwed. I would have got caught short. Now, in the elevator, basically the first tripod always spawns to the window that's to the left of the panel that you interact with to start up the elevator. So you can just go to the opposite side and hang out there, out of reach of that tripod, and you don't even have to kill him or anything, just stay out of reach, and Bob's your uncle. Yeah, I love saying that. Yeah, so he's gonna spawn any moment now. The second tripod always spawns alone, although where it spawns is random, so you just go to the center. See, there's the first tripod, always to the left of the panel. Can't touch this thing. Okay, so for the second tripod, just go to the center and spin around, spot him, and then just back away to the opposite side, because he always spawns alone, so you're safe on the other side. And once again, can't touch this thing. And then now it's game on. Basically, go to the center, where you'll essentially be out of reach for their close attack, so it will take them a moment or two to get it together to do their long reaching attack. It's like, where did you go? Oh, it's in the center. Okay, let's do this now. And you're going to take that moment to get the drop on them and blast them dead center of the body with the detonator, and that's it. That's all. Boom, boom, out go the lights. So that's your strategy, and I pretty much did a perfect run here. Only thing really was, like I said, I had just enough detonator mines to pull out the job. So at the end there, I'm kind of standing there with my Johnson hanging out in the wind, going, if there's one more tripod, I'm gonna have to start using my very expensive line gun to do this. But fortunately, it didn't come to that, and it helps to count your shots, people, so you don't get caught short reloading while another tripod is busy trying to maul you to death. And right here you can see I just ran clean out of detonator ammo, so I'm sitting there going, I hope there's another tripod. And as luck would have it, the elevator ride of death ended, and Major Slack was redeemed once again for having played it too close to the edge. Yeah. Thank you. Next up the bat is Sigma 05 area, where we have to move the body of Howard Phillips over to in front of the door, open the door. First, we're going to pick up the schematic for the force gun out here in the locker. I don't know why they put those stasis containers there. You can use stasis containers on cysts, but there's 2 cysts there, so I really don't know of what use those stasis containers would be. I guess you could blast one in. I don't know. I really don't know. Because there's more than enough explosive canisters to do the job here to get rid of the cysts. And in the next area you don't need them, so who knows. Here's the force gun schematic. Sometimes the loot on those racks gets stuck. That's a real pain when that happens. Going the wrong way, Slack. There we go. He's a learner. Yeah. The pressures of hardcore. Hey, how about the pressures of hardcore and putting videos up on YouTube? Now that's some freaking pressure, let me tell you. Try it. It'll put hair on your chest. Seriously. You do not know what panic is all about until you try that. Speaking of panic, watch me at the store here. When I go to the store, I really take my time when it comes to swapping out the plasma cutter for the force gun, because one time I sold my upgraded line gun by mistake and I completely blew my run. I'm sitting there, dope. It's a total Homer Simpson moment. Dope, you know. That was it. That was the end of that run. Watch this. So I'm sitting there going, not the line gun, Slack, the plasma cutter. Attaboy. Yeah, attaboy. He's a learner. Yeah. Yeah. Once again, that's hardcore for you. Get a serious case of the jitters when you do hardcore. Yeah. Okay, so we got the force gun on board. Plasma cutter is put to bed. Onward into the power grid complex, which is just beyond this little hallway here. Just picking up a power node here, and that's about it. Some goodies at the end. And we're out of here. This crawling slasher here. Normally I use that red toolbox that I flung away to take him out. But like I said, keeping with the hard and fast pace here, I didn't want to bother with that because you have to fling it at him like 4 or 5 times to kill him. So, hell with that. Just, you know, use a ripper blade. And, of course, you should know by now that this is the Diabolical Trap, so move those explosive canisters away from that hull breach window. Otherwise, when you go in here, the laser trip mines pop up. When the leaper comes at you, it blows the trip mines, and that blows the explosive canisters, and that blows the window, and then everything's being sucked out to the deep nether regions of outer space, including you, and you got to hit the emergency shutdown hatch, and you know, it's a pain. Here is a good example of how really effective the force gun is on these crawlers, or baby bombs as they like to call them. One shot blows them away, and it leaves their explosive sack intact. So the force gun is definitely the weapon of choice against these, because then you can use these baby bombs to your advantage. It's like free ammo, instant kill on anything you whip those at. So I collected myself a couple of baby bombs here. The game will only allow you to keep 2. You know, it'll disappear the rest. I've never been able to keep 3. So saving that one for the leaper that's eventually going to spawn when we come back out. Got to do a little hack here. In here, in this whole power grid complex, just use stasis liberally, because you got stasis coming out of the wazoo. You got 2 stasis canisters there. You got a stasis recharge station, so there's no reason why you shouldn't use stasis. And I blow this hack because I hate hacks. We're running out of time here. I think that, yeah. I think I even took damage there. Yeah. I was trying to play it right down to the end, see if I could get a blue one, and I didn't. So not only did I blow it, but I got a little spanking for it. This time I'm gonna make it. Shazam. So the cargo lift is operational now. Gonna whip this baby bomb at a leaper. The leaper always spawns when you come out the door. Baboom, that's it. And how did I know that? Because I played this game like a bazillion times over. And why did I play the game a bazillion times over? Because that's how you produce quality walkthroughs. And that's also how you produce an ebook like the one I wrote, Dead Space 2 Secrets, a complete strategy guide that I wrote for this game. And this is the stuff they don't tell you in other strategy guides, okay? This will help you master the game on Zealot and Hardcore mode. If you want to see what the strategy guide looks like before you buy it, there's a free downloadable sample chapter. Check out the link in the video description. And thank you all very much for watching. And that's it. I'm out of here.